the sweet sound of a door slamming shut, echoing louder than any apology they could ever muster. Their biggest punishment, my friend, isn't just losing you. No. It's knowing that no matter how much they ride and regret, no matter how many nights they spend rehearsing their broken words in front of a mirror, no matter how many tears they shed in solitude, it will never be enough to undo the damage, never be enough to heal the wounds they've inflicted on you. You see, the real curse that they must carry isn't simply the fact that they've lost you. It's the endless weight of never being able to say sorry to you, never having the chance to make amends with a heart that's already broken beyond repair. They will live with this regret, and that regret will haunt them more than any punishment or consequence you could ever imagine. And there's no escape from it. No escape from the echoes of that door slamming shut, the irreversible finality that comes with knowing they can't take back what they've done. What you must understand, my friend, is that some things in life can't be fixed with words. Apologies can never erase the pain of betrayal, the sting of abandonment, or the crushing weight of neglect. They can never change the past, no matter how much someone wishes they could rewrite history. The more they wish for it, the more they will realize the futility of their desires. Every time they think of you, they will feel the hollow emptiness in their chest, because they know deep down that the door is closed and there's no way back. The sweet sound of that door slamming shut will ring in their ears forever, a constant reminder that they had a chance to make things right, but they blew it. And now they have to live with the consequences of their actions. This isn't just a fleeting feeling of guilt or shame. No, this is a permanent scar on their soul, a wound that will never heal. The weight of never being able to say sorry to you will follow them wherever they go, and no matter how much they try to bury it under distractions or false comforts, it will always be there, lurking just beneath the surface, ready to remind them of their failure. It's a weight that only grows heavier with time, and the more they try to outrun it, the harder it becomes to breathe. They will look at their reflection in the mirror and see a stranger staring back at them, a person they've become through their own mistakes and actions. They will wonder how they could have been so blind, so foolish as to let someone like you slip away. And when they think of you, they will feel the bitter sting of regret, because they know that you deserve so much more than what they gave you. But the sad truth is that no matter how much they regret it, no matter how much they wish they could turn back time, they can't. The damage is done, and there's nothing they can do to undo it. The world will continue to move forward, and life will go on. But for them, every moment will feel like an eternity. Every day will be another reminder of their failure, another day spent trapped in the prison of their own regret. They will try to fill the emptiness inside of them with distractions, addictions, and fleeting pleasures, but nothing will ever truly fill the void left by your absence. They will spend their nights lying awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how things could have been different. They will wish they had said something, anything to make it right, but by then it's too late. The door is shut, and there's no going back. But you, my friend, you will not be bound by the same chains. You are free now. Free from the weight of their actions, and free from the shackles of their regret. You have taken control of your own destiny, and you no longer need their validation or apology. You don't need them to make you feel whole or loved, because you have already learned to love yourself. You have already learned that your worth isn't defined by their mistakes or their inability to see your value. You are stronger than they will ever be, because you have faced the pain and come out the other side stronger. They may carry the weight of never being able to say sorry to you, but you, my friend, will carry the strength of knowing that you don't need their apology to be whole. As they lay in their bed at night, They will feel the sting of their own guilt, their own failures gnawing at their soul. They will replay every moment, every word, every action that led to this point, and with each passing day, they will realize just how much they have lost. They will realize that no apology, no matter how heartfelt or sincere, will ever be enough to make up for what they've done. And as time goes on, they will grow more and more bitter, more and more resentful of the fact that they can never undo the past. They will become prisoners of their own making, shackled to the memory of what could have been and what they destroyed. And all the while, you will be free. You will be living your life without them, without their toxic presence holding you back. It's a beautiful thing, really, the way life has a way of evening out the scales. They may think that they got away with it, that they got away with treating you poorly, with taking you for granted. But the truth is that they will never escape the weight of their own conscience. They will carry that burden with them until the day they die. And there will be no relief, no release from it. It will eat away at them until there's nothing left but the hollow shell of the person they used to be. And in the end, they will realize that the greatest punishment isn't losing you. It's knowing that they will never have the chance to say sorry to you, knowing that they will never have the chance to make things right. So let them carry that weight, my friend. Let them carry the burden of their own choices and their own regrets. You have nothing to prove to them, nothing to fix, nothing to change. You have already found your peace. You have already found your strength, and you are moving forward with or without them. They may carry the weight of never being able to say sorry to you, but you will carry the freedom of knowing that you are better off without them. And that, my friend, is the sweetest victory of all. It is the victory that doesn't need an audience, doesn't rely on validation from others. It is the quiet, unspoken triumph that comes from within, from knowing that you have not only survived, but risen from the ashes of someone else's mistakes. It's a victory that requires no applause, no recognition, but it burns brighter than any fleeting external praise you could ever receive. This victory is a reminder that sometimes the true power lies not in the words we say, but in the strength we find when we stop seeking apologies and start seeking peace. You see, they will always carry the weight of their actions, the weight of their inability to take responsibility, to admit fault, to apologize when it was long overdue. It will follow them like a shadow, relentless and unforgiving, never allowing them to escape the consequences of their choices. The longer they deny it, the heavier it gets. They may try to numb themselves, drown out the guilt with distractions, but it will always be there, lurking in the background, a constant reminder of their failure. There is no relief from it, no moment of peace, because deep down they will always know that they could have been better. They could have been kinder, more understanding, more present, but they weren't. And that's the burden they must bear. And while they carry that burden, you, my friend, are free. Free from the shackles of their mistakes, free from the weight of their neglect, free from the endless cycle of disappointment. You no longer have to wait for a moment that may never come, for an apology that may never be given. You no longer have to yearn for their acknowledgement or seek validation from someone who failed to see your worth. You have learned that your self-worth does not depend on them. You have realized that the love and respect you deserve is not something to be begged for, but something to be claimed, something to be given to yourself. And in this, you have already won. But the most powerful part of this victory is not just the freedom from their actions. It's the transformation that happens within you. You've learned that healing doesn't come from external apologies or restitution, but from within. It comes from taking back your power, from choosing to let go of the anger, the resentment, the frustration that once consumed you. You have learned to find peace in the absence of what you thought you needed. You found peace in the knowledge that you are enough, that you are deserving of all the things they couldn't give you. You don't need their apology because you have already forgiven yourself for staying in situations that didn't serve you, for putting up with things that didn't honor your worth. They will carry the weight of never being able to say sorry to you, but you will carry the strength of knowing that you don't need it. That's where the real power lies, because you can't change what they've done, you can't rewrite the past, but you have complete control over how you move forward. They may have broken you once, but what they didn't realize is that in doing so, they created a version of you that is unstoppable. You have become your own redemption. You have become the one who decides your own narrative, and that, my friend, is something they will never have. They will always be haunted by the memory of you. They will replay their mistakes in their mind over and over again, trying to find some way to make sense of it all. They will wonder if there was something they could have done differently, some word they could have said, some action they could have taken. And each time they come up empty, each time they realize that it's too late, that the door is closed, that the time has passed, the weight of their own failure will crush them even more. The guilt will eat them alive, and they will find themselves searching for any way to ease the pain, but there will be no solace, no reprieve. And the worst part is, they will know that they have no one to blame but themselves. There will be no one to point the finger at but their own reflection in the mirror. And still, they will never have the chance to make it right. They will never have the chance to undo what's been done. The regret will become a part of them, an insidious part that seeps into every moment of their life, into every relationship, into every interaction. They will forever carry the weight of their inability to apologize to you, and with it, they will forever be bound to their past mistakes. The longer they try to escape it, the more suffocating it will become. But what about you? What about the person who has moved on, who has closed that door and walked away? You don't carry that same burden. You've chosen to let go of the past, to release the need for their apology. It doesn't mean you've forgotten. It doesn't mean you've excused their actions. It simply means you've chosen to no longer let them control your present or your future. You've chosen to take back your peace, to reclaim your life from the shadow of their mistakes. And in doing so, you've reclaimed your power. It's a power they can never take from you. They may have thought that they could walk away without consequence, that they could leave without a second thought. But what they didn't understand is that they were leaving behind a piece of themselves. They were leaving behind the person who was once willing to forgive them, who once gave them their trust, their time, their love. And by doing so, they forfeited the only chance they had to make things right, the only chance they had to ease their own burden. They may have taken you for granted, but in the process, they've lost more than they'll ever realize. They will carry the weight of never being able to say sorry to you for the rest of their days, and nothing they do will ever fill the void that your absence leaves. The real question, though, is what will you do with this newfound freedom? How will you use the strength you've gained through this experience? Because while they will be trapped in the prison of their own regret, you have the chance to live. You have the chance to create a life that is full of joy, full of meaning, full of love that you didn't receive from them. You have the chance to surround yourself with people who appreciate you, who value you, who recognize the strength it took to walk away, to let go. And in doing so, you will build something beautiful, something lasting, something that no one can take from you. The greatest revenge, my friend, is not in seeing them suffer. It's not in watching them wallow in their regret. It's in living your life with purpose, with passion, with the knowledge that you are better off without them. They may carry the weight of never being able to say sorry to you, but you You will carry the weight of knowing that you have nothing left to prove. You have nothing left to apologize for. You've done your part. You've loved, you've given, you've shown up. And if they couldn't see that, if they couldn't appreciate that, then that's on them, not you. They will look back one day and they will realize what they lost. They will look at the empty space where you used to be, and they will feel the weight of their own regret crushing them. They will know that they can never turn back time, that they can never go back to the person they were before they close that door. But by then, it won't matter. By then, they will have already lost you for good. And in your strength, in your resilience, in your ability to rise above their mistakes, you will have already won. So carry that victory with you, my friend. Carry it like a badge of honor, like the reminder that you are capable of surviving even the most painful of losses. Let it fuel you, let it inspire you, let it guide you as you continue forward on your journey. Because in the end, the sweetest victory is not in their regret, but in your freedom. And nothing can take that away from you. There will be no force in this world, no external circumstance, no person who can strip away what you've earned, what you've cultivated. What they failed to see, what they failed to understand, was the strength within you, the strength that comes from being able to walk away, from being able to survive, and most importantly, from being able to find peace in the midst of chaos. They thought they could break you. They thought they could control you. But what they never realized is that the kind of person who can survive betrayal, heartbreak, and neglect is the kind of person who cannot be undone. You are unshakable, unmovable, and your power grows with every day that you choose to stand tall in your own truth. As they continue to wallow in their regret, as they continue to carry the crushing weight of their own actions, they will have to come to terms with something they may never fully understand, that their guilt, their remorse, their endless replays of every word, every moment, every misstep, they will never get the chance to right their wrongs. What's gone is gone. What's broken is beyond repair. The door is shut, the chapter is closed, and they will never have the opportunity to rewrite the story they thought they could control. And while they carry the burden of their failure, you walk free. You've let go. You've released the ties that bound you to them, to their behavior, and to their regret. And in that release, you found an unimaginable sense of freedom, a freedom that isn't defined by their actions, their words, or their behavior. Your freedom is not conditional. It isn't dependent on them or anyone else. You've come to understand that your peace doesn't need to be earned by anyone but you. The world will not give you the permission to heal. That's something you grant yourself. And in this, you have achieved the highest form of self-love, the kind of love that doesn't need the approval of others, the kind of love that doesn't demand apologies from those who fail to give them. You have become your own hero. You have saved yourself, and nothing can take that away. This is not about revenge, not about any form of justice that will bring satisfaction or sweet closure. It's not about waiting for the moment when they realize the depth of their mistake, the cruelty of their actions, because you've realized something more profound than that. You don't need them to see it. You don't need them to apologize, to regret, or to feel remorse. You have learned the truth that many never do, the truth that peace and healing come from within, not from the actions of others. They can regret it all they want. They can wish they had done things differently. But in the end, their regret is theirs to carry, and yours is the freedom to live without it. They may carry the weight of their guilt and the burden of their choices, but you, my friend, you carry the strength of having released yourself from their grasp. You see, the gift that they gave you, in their inability to say sorry, in their failure to recognize your worth, is the gift of your own self-liberation. They failed to see what you brought into their life. They failed to see the love, the loyalty, the time, the effort, the heart you gave. And in their ignorance, they gave you something infinitely more valuable. They gave you the freedom to walk away, to choose yourself, to recognize that your value was never tied to their ability to understand it. You were always worthy, always enough, and it was never their validation that you needed to know that. So let them carry the weight of their regret. Let them twist and turn in their own minds, replaying the moments they could have fixed, the words they could have said, the times they could have chosen differently. They will never be able to change the past, never be able to make things right. And while they sink deeper into the prison of their own guilt, you will continue to rise. You will continue to build a life for yourself, a life where you are the priority, where your needs, your desires, and your happiness come first. You are no longer beholden to anyone, no longer chained by the expectations of others, no longer shackled by the need for approval. The chains have been broken, and with each step you take forward, you leave behind the weight of the past, the weight that they will never escape. They may have thought they could live without you, but what they didn't understand is that they've lost far more than you ever could. They've lost a part of their humanity, their integrity, and the ability to experience true growth and redemption. Because redemption doesn't come from a half-hearted apology or the act of trying to win someone back. It comes from the willingness to recognize where you went wrong, to understand the impact of your actions, and to seek forgiveness not from the person you've wronged, but from yourself. And most people, most individuals who cause hurt, never reach that level of self-awareness. They never reach the point where they can truly sit with their mistakes and try to do better, because they are too caught up in the fantasy of what could have been. They are too caught up in the illusion that time can somehow undo their choices. But time doesn't heal all wounds, my friend. Time simply moves forward, and with it, so do you. The most tragic thing of all is that they will never have the luxury of truly healing, of moving on, of ever fully becoming the person they could have been with you by their side. They will always be haunted by the shadow of what they lost, and that will follow them everywhere. It will follow them in their relationships, in their friendships, in their quiet moments of reflection. It will seep into every corner of their life, and they will forever be burdened by the loss of someone who once loved them unconditionally. The guilt will eat at them, slowly and silently, and no matter how hard they try to drown it out, it will always be there. And in the end, they will realize something they never considered, that the greatest punishment wasn't losing you. The greatest punishment was never having the chance to make it right. But for you, the greatest reward is knowing that you've already made it right. You've made it right with yourself. You've forgiven yourself for any mistakes you might have made, for any compromises you might have accepted, for any moments when you thought their love, their apology, their presence was something you needed to survive. You've recognized that your survival, your happiness, your peace, these things were never dependent on them. They were always within you, always waiting for you to recognize your own worth and choose to live in alignment with it. Now that you've made that choice, nothing can ever take that away from you. As they continue to exist in the echo of their own regrets, you will continue to build something beautiful, something that is just for you. You will continue to grow, to heal, to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. They thought they could break you, that they could shatter your heart and leave you with nothing. But what they didn't realize is that you were always whole. They were always the ones who were broken, and in walking away from them, you not only freed yourself, but allowed them to reveal the true depths of their inability to appreciate what they had. And in doing so, you became the person who holds the power, who holds the future, who holds the peace, they will never know. So keep moving forward, my friend. Keep living, keep growing, keep choosing yourself every single day. Because nothing can take away from you what you have already built, what you have already claimed as your own. The past is behind you and the future is yours to shape. You are unstoppable, and nothing can take that away from you. In the end, their regret will be their burden to carry, while you continue to thrive in the freedom you found. The apology they failed to give won't define you, because you've already embraced your own worth. You've learned that true peace comes from within, and that your strength lies not in waiting for others to make things right, but in choosing to move forward with unwavering resolve. Nothing can take away the power you've reclaimed, the life you've built for yourself. You are free, and that, my friend, is the greatest victory of all.